lately.
Okay, hi, this is Elliot Fishman. You're?
Bea Mudge,
Okay.
CT imaging manager.
Okay, so we're here for our weekly Facebook Live. Damn, my hair looks bad today. I should have done better. I should have blown dry it.
Good.
Not bad. Okay, and we both dye our hair the same place. So we're talking actually this week, I think our topic was to look at the ACR accreditation. Let me just say up front, we do not get any discount from the ACR for doing it. They charge us the same amount of money as everybody else, and probably they'll charge us extra for making fun of them or something to that effect. How much do we pay? Well, let me just start from the beginning.
Okay.
So, one of the things in terms of quality is hopefully, and I'm sure you are optimizing your scan protocols. We'll speak a little bit about that. All the things you're supposed to do, you're doing. But the other one way of also doing it is to have ACR certification. And it started probably about 10 years ago. The ACR started certifying scanners. I think they did the same thing for ultrasound programs and for MR, mammo, and CT. And the CT program, you need to redo every 3 years.
3 years.
3 years or something like that.
Every 3 years.
And so, so what I'll do is, some of you, by show of hands, how many of you have certification? Okay, so a bunch of you, but it means every 3 years you have to redo it. And it's a very, very specific process. It's not just sending you money and they give you a certificate. That would be easy. We send them extra money, we didn't have to bother. But it is somewhat of a painful process. And so I thought perhaps Bea could walk us through what the process is, what we're doing, how we go about it, because we're in the process of doing the certification now, because our certification ends. And I think within 90 days of its expiring, you have to resubmit renewal, so you don't have a lapse.
Yeah. Actually, they sent out a renewal notice, and you have actually 180 days to renew. And then once you renew, they send you the package. You do all the registration ahead of time, and then they send you the package, which are called your modules, on each scanner that you're going to do an ACR accreditation. And then you have about 45 days. Now, depending on how many scanners you have, 45 days should be, is fine, especially if you've done it before. But, we have 8 scanners that we're going to have accredited. So sometimes you fall a little behind on that.
So let's just, before we get started, hey, Lauren, what's happening? So Lauren used to do it with Tony Cook, all of our CME courses. And Lauren now went into sales. I hope he's selling a lot of machines. If you want to buy from Lauren. He's a really good seaman. Lauren's a great guy. And then John Biacchino, who's one of our techs who's not working today, because Mace Chapel, that means he's home.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
let's not worry about the 8 machines. Let's just take one machine. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a scanner. Let's say your scanner is 3 years old, 4 years old, whatever it is. What do we have to do for each of our scanners?
Okay. So in the registration process, you're going to pick out if it's first adult or peds, you scan adult or peds on it.
Or both.
Or both. And then you will pick out, they'll tell you, once you hit that, it'll tell you how many modules. So you'll probably have to have 1 module for peds. If you're scanning adults, you have to have the cardiac CTA. And then you'll have a chest and an abdomen. So usually with one scanner, you'll have 4 modules, 3 to 4 modules, depending on.
Right. And most people, truthfully, some pediatric hospitals do peds only. But let's say, so if you're a private practice group or a hospital, or even our scanners, we have a peds scanner, but a lot of times on the weekend we do peds on other scanners.
Right.
So basically, is it really doing 4 modules, basically?
Yeah. Okay. 3 to 4, and you definitely, if you do peds on a scanner, you have to have it accredited.
Okay, so let's do peds last. So let's say let's do the simple thing. Everybody obviously is accrediting for chest and abdomen. So let's just take chest for a second. What is it that you need to provide to the ACR?
Well, they'll give you some choices. They'll give you a CT non-contrast, a CT with CT chest with contrast, or and then of course an abdomen.
Okay, but let's go through it. Yeah. So CT with contrast, without contrast, non-contrast.
Right.
What information do you need to provide to the ACR?
Oh, well, once they send you the package, the module, then what you have to do, and we actually collect a few cases, and we'll look for quality So you want to look for quality, the dose, the range. They'll look for the protocol. You have to have the protocol with it.
So
And
okay,
then-
let me go back. Because some people haven't done it before. So let's
Right.
talk to the person who hasn't done it before. So what information are they requiring? So everyone has protocols for doing a non-contrast chest.
Yeah.
So what is it? What are the ACR looking at? Because remember, they're going to certify you, and what is it they need to know to be successful?
Well, they're going to know. They're going to want to know why you're doing the chest, patient info. The reason for the chest. They want to know all the parameters you use, all the technical parameters, all the ranges. You send all
What do you
this
mean by
information.
what do you mean by ranges?
Well, did you scan? You're just doing a chest. Why are you scanning through the kidneys?
So let me just go back So what you're going to send in is, so let's say this non-contrast chest.
Mhm.
Are you actually sending a case to the RSN,
Yes.
to the ACR?
You send the images in, and everything's uploaded on their website now.
So, okay, so let's stay with non-contrast chest.
Yeah.
So how many cases do you need to submit? One case.
One.
So basically you look for the one case you did everything right. Is that what
Yes.
happened? Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing. So you need to have one
One
case, which means that
done
one case
perfectly.
perfectly. No patient breathing.
Right.
You pick the right MAS,
Yep.
the right KVP.
Yep.
Everything needs to be perfect
Yes.
for that case. So as you prepare, you need to find, obviously, I'm sure in your practice, like ours, every single case we do is perfect.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you want to make certain you have the most perfect case that you send to the ACR.
Right.
So you're going to have so you're going to send a digital file to them,
Mhm.
right?
A
Okay,
digital file.
So for each different module, you're going to need a single case.
Yeah. And what we normally do is we'll gather a few cases. We'll gather from that scanner, we'll gather 5 or 6 cases, and then we'll go through and look at it for quality and all the points, and then pick the best one.
Okay, so you have one case, and then you'll be sending it to ACR. So let's say for each module, one case. But then what else do you need to fill out? What else?
Oh, there's a lot of forms. So there's a form.
Just give me some idea about because remember, I think one of the things, since we've been through this, we're a little bit more expertise. I think I
Yes.
remember the first time we did it,
Oh,
it seems like an unbelievable, ridiculous amount of information.
it is. And with that, remember, there's the physicist form, and he does the phantom, and we have to upload all
Okay,
that.
so let's
But-
go a step back. Okay,
Yeah.
so on your side is you found your perfect scan.
Yeah.
You say everything you've done. You put down all your parameters, which
All the technical
okay.
factors.
What else do you have to do
Yeah.
from the tech side or the doctor side?
Well, back in the registration from the radiologist side is actually we insert all the radiologist's name and their ACR number.
Right.
So that's all done.
So I
The
think
tech wise
Yes,
too.
I think you need to. I think in order to get certification, you need the radiologists need to be ACR members, or at
Yes.
least some of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So we make sure that we have the ACR number when we insert all the radiologists.
Okay.
All the technologists that are working on the scanners, we have to have their name and their credentials. And then the technical factors, we filled this all out. Now everything's online. Now, one thing is the ACR website is not the most user-friendly. So it's really important to read the instructions. Make sure it's a simple, if you follow those instructions, you'll have a much more success.
Well, usually the idea is to follow instructions.
I know, but people don't.
Yeah.
What happens is, I thought I'm supposed to do it like this.
I'm sure
If
this.
you follow.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they're pretty, you can call the ACR number. They actually have a number for you to call, and they're fantastic at answering the questions.
So,
But getting back to that.
So because let's say, so now you've done it. You picked
Yeah.
your case, you filled out the form, you answered the questions. You say the radiologists are, that the radiologist is certified. You have the techs are certified. You put up all the information. Then what role does the physicist play in this?
Okay, so the physicist comes in on each scanner that's going to be accredited. He does his ACR phantom. And then he does all his calculations.
So
and
is it a
he
special
has,
Phantom or just the Phantom we have already? Or you need does the ACR?
He has an ACR Phantom.
Okay, but we use that routinely, or is it just something?
It's something
do
that
just
he
for this
has.
thing?
We use it when we have a new equipment.
So it's just the
yeah.
testing. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone should have this ACR Phantom. And
Yeah.
if you don't have it, let us know. You know, Mahesh, who's our physicist here, who speaks often,
Yeah.
we did our Facebook Live the other week, can answer, because in fact I think he was one of the people who helped do the guidance.
Yes.
Yeah. And you remember the first year we got rejected because the physicist filled it out wrong.
Yeah.
And we said, how did you fill it out wrong? You wrote the rules.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
Okay.
That was quickly resolved.
That could be resolved. Yeah. But okay, so the physicist has to do the.
Yeah, they have to do their part, and he will do all the paperwork and give to me.
Okay.
And then when at the time we're going to upload everything, I have to make sure I have all that paperwork from him for each of the scanners.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so we have all of that, and then when we end up submitting it, then hopefully, I guess if we've had this experience before, if you don't do everything perfectly and follow all the rules perfectly, they can come back and ask you questions,
right,
and ask you to explain this further, or
they say, well, they can do that, or they say you fail, and then you can appeal it.
Right.
And you can appeal it because maybe it's something that you can quickly resolve.
Right. So one of the good things, of course, is that besides the fact we were joking about picking your best case, which everyone will in fact do, it does make sure you're doing the right protocols, I think.
Yeah.
So if you were doing a protocol that was just way too high, the ACR is going to tell you that protocol is just not right for a PEDS patient, or it's not right for a non-contrast chest, or it's not right for an abdomen. So in some sense, you do get some feedback.
Yeah.
Assuming you do everything right, then you don't get any feedback. You get a certificate in the mail that you can frame.
Yeah.
Send to your mother, your grandmother. You can take it home. You can put it in the drawer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's actually not very cheap, right? How much is it per scanner?
It's about $2,800 per scanner.
Right. So people always ask, what do administrators do? They sign the check. Okay, that's their main thing to do.
Yeah.
And you remember in the beginning, they couldn't get check. Remember, I had to cut a personal check, and it took them like 2 months to reimburse me.
Well, I'm still waiting for the check.
I know, but ACR will not certify you. Rightly so. If they don't have the money up front, they ain't going to certify you.
Yeah.
But
you can't get past the registration process.
It's not like tuition for college or something where you can
on the after. Yeah.
Well, you can, like, if you want to get your scanner, you pay the ACR doesn't have a crew coach. You can't just say, okay, can you put my scanner? My scanner knows how to row really fast.
Right.
And that doesn't work, right? Let's see. Regarding the CT parameters, what about the automatic exposure control, dose, pitch, automatic scan time?
Yeah.
GAZI.
Yeah, I mean, you would insert that in. That would be part of your paperwork when you send it in.
Right. And
you have to have that with every case that you send in. You have to have all those parameters, and they'll give you a list. You're just filling it in.
Right. So I think one of the things, of course, is to have everything in one place together. It probably, I think, one way, if you've never done this before, or you're doing it again, because as I say, we do it every 3 years. We try to do all the scanners, and you forget from time to time. And I'm sure the ACR probably, adjusts things a little bit like everything else from year to year. But I think what a good thing to do is, with a lot of things, it's the same rule, is when you look at it, go to the ACR site, look at all the things you need, and then start collecting. You don't want to bring a case and say, well,
they'll send you the package.
Yeah. So
and that will have all the information in there, which you have to do. And you sit down, go through it, make sure you know what you need before you go and start.
So just for people who've not done it, how much time, let's say if I was trying to put the hours in, how many hours worth of work is this?
Well, just the registration, it took me, because the ACR website is so slow, I mean, it took almost an hour. But of course, we have 8 scanners.
Right.
So, but it's very slow website. And then once you get the package
because you
deal,
said that, Bill Thornworth is going to cancel my ACR membership for saying the ACR. Hey, Bill. She said it. I didn't say it, but
it's very
it's slow. It's really.
I mean, it's a website I've been using for
Well, ACR usually has good websites. ACR with the RSNA, image wisely.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge that. Excellent. Very fast.
Excellent.
Radiologyinfo.com. .org rather. Really fast.
fantastic.
This thing, not so
so much.
Okay. What a crowd. What a crowd.
Right.
Okay. But, okay, so then you would submit so it takes you.
Okay, then what we do normally is in each scanner, we'll have a tech that will help, collect this, like Johnny B. He'll help us collect these, we'll sit down with them. We'll have a meeting with all the techs that are responsible for collecting the images, and then sit down. This is what we need. Let us know when you get it.
Okay.
And then then the time comes and we have to put in and look for quality and range, and do we have all the paperwork and all the,
right. So I think
so it is very time.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing I want to, for people to realize that, although, like you said in the beginning, you have 45 days, but like many things, 45 days, you don't want to be working on a day 44 because there's a great tendency to put things off.
Well, already, I mean, I got the renewal notice and I'm still waiting for some signatures.
Right. So I think the process,
it does take.
I think we haven't done it just like anything else with forms.
And if you want to extend the time, you can. You just call them up, they'll plug it in and say, okay, extension.
Right. But you also, we run out of time in the sense that we have our certifications for 3 years, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
And so you'd like to not have, a gap.
Right.
If you can avoid it. So you're trying to do 3 years at a time.
Yeah.
But as you said, many of you have done this for MRs and ultrasound and everything else. So you get used to the process, but it doesn't make it any simpler. It's just, it's a matter of following the rules, being very careful, because if you put the information, if you're putting in for 100 kVp and then you put down 200, you're going to fail.
Yes.
So it's very critical that,
the detailed work is so important.
Right. And
getting the detail right.
And people do look at it very carefully. I think people in the ACR staff do evaluate all of it, each one by one. So it's not it's not just you send your check in and someone just, just waves it by or something. It really is carefully looked at. And I said, the one time we didn't fill it out perfectly. What about the recommendation of pulmonary embolism in pregnancy? Well, that's not this topic, but I will say that we do scan PEs in pregnant patients. Again, one of the things that's been said very clearly is that, particularly when you have a good scanner, there's no really scatter down below. So the ACR even says there's no need to have even consent special because of that. So it's not a problem. But we can talk about that at a different time. Okay, so in some sense, so let's say, okay, you do all the things, you get ACR certification, you get the certificate, you go for 3 years. Does that help us at all? So the other thing we also get, and Hopkins is waiting now for JCO.
Yes, Joint Commission.
Joint Commission. And the Joint Commission, all of you have the same thing we do. The Joint Commission comes every couple of years to look at everything you're doing. Remember, it's one of the few times where you tell all the radiologists, here's the fire extinguisher, here's the stairway. You have to remember what to do if there's God forbid there's a fire, when they stay in place, what do you do with the patient, all the things you need to do in sense of emergency. And JCO is a pain in the neck, but they're very valuable, because I think one of the things that people have said is only when you have JCO does it force you to do a lot of the things that you kind of push off. So what do we do for JCO? So let me rephrase it a little bit more. Does the stuff we do for ACR help with the JCO stuff?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because Joint Commission is going to look, and that's one of the questions, is that scanner ACR accredited? Yeah.
So that probably, if you're ACR accredited, that probably makes your JCO inspection easier.
Yes.
I mean, there's some things with JCO that are different. Obviously, we've told you this before, that JCO wants to see a protocol book next to the scanner. The ACR doesn't need that. They don't ask that question, but JCO does.
Yeah.
What else do we do with the JCO stuff? Just, we're out of time.
With Joint Commission, the real thing is prep. Preparing way ahead of time. And it takes months, because you're looking at everything. Now, across the modalities, there's a lot of common things you do, right? The environment, the safety things, your files and things like that. For CT, the main thing, or two things, are the radiation dose, right? And contrast. They always seem to ask, what is the temperature of the contrast in the warmer, and then the temperature actually when it's stored, and how long should it be in there, and so forth. There's a lot of questions related to oral contrast.
A lot of people give up warmers because remember, for JCO, you're supposed to be testing a temperature once a day.
Yes. And they have to be monitored. And then, of course, if you don't work on the weekend, make sure you take your contrast out. Make sure it's 100 things.
Right. So Jacob,
but the main thing with Joint Commission and CT is making sure that you prepare your staff for the questions on radiation dose. And how are you trained on radiation? How are you trained on this equipment? How do you know that the scanner's working? What happens if you exceed the radiation dose? All those questions. So what we do is we have a form, with a little sheet that has the questions, Q&A for the staff, that everything that we do related to radiation safety is in this.
So usually, the techs really have no choice. And last year, I think some of you, when they did the JCO inspection, what they did is they always try to change what they do because hospitals always try to figure it out. So last time, instead of going to areas, they just took patients and said, okay, let's follow this patient
down.
Whether they went to CT, whether they went to ultrasound, whether they went to angio or something, and follow every single step. Now, the techs are most critical with JCO because the techs can't hide. Most radiologists,
right.
So everyone walks around with a mustache and like a wig those wigs, and you don't wear a white coat because you don't wear a white coat, they're not going to ask you any questions. You wear a white coat, they're going to ask you like some crazy thing.
Right.
Like, where's the fire extinguisher? Where's the equipment cart? Where's not the golf cart? The cart, for
crash
God
cart.
forbid you have a reaction, crash cart. Where is it? You have to. So we tell everybody, but nobody remembers anything. Where's the oxygen? Where's what's this, that, and the other? What do you do in the event of a fire?
Right.
So you need to really retrain the physicians, or just it's kind of like a little bit with JCO. All hospitals are the same. It's like Paul Revere, like the JCO's coming. JCO's coming. They have security guards, and JCO doesn't tell you when they're coming.
No.
The only thing they do is they come on Monday
or Tuesday.
So they don't come Monday and Tuesday, then they're not going to come. So like we've been expecting them any day. And
we expect them
we have
this Monday or Tuesday.
Right. They'd be coming. I'll be gone Monday and Tuesday. Don't look for me. But you see those JCO people, and but they need to do a good job. And in fact, actually, I think one of the things is it's not even what JCO does. It's the fact knowing JCO's coming. So many things get fixed. All things that are broken. Doors that don't work. Things that don't work. When JCO comes, every door is greased.
Painted. Everything.
Everything.
Done.
It's like the president's coming. The president probably wouldn't do much, but for JCO, we're really careful. And so. But it's good for the techs also, right?
Because and we really quiz them on radiation dose safety, because that is a key for Joint Commission when they come. They pulled a couple techs last time, and they really went through all these questions. So you want to make sure your staff, your techs, are ready to answer them. And then we also have a board, and that they can refer to. And posters and any information that they need. If they're at the time, they're just like a little frazzled, they can go over to the board and say, okay, well,
How often does JCO come now?
Is it a couple of years?
Every couple of years. But we prep people. The JCO prep starts like 3 months. If you kind of know.
Oh yeah, we started this last fall.
Right. Theoretically, JCO could come anytime they want. Right?
Yeah. Well, the dates they have for us are the next 3 dates, like in April.
Right.
So I think they're going to be here.
Right, but you have some idea. It's not like, but theoretically, JCO could come today if they wanted to.
No.
They couldn't.
No, usually they give you dates. Usually they say.
But they can come today.
Unannounced,
They can unannounced.
But the dates that we have is that they could probably come this coming Monday, next Monday, and like the fourth Monday or something.
Hey, it just happened to be off those days.
We don't tell the staff, so they don't.
We change all the signs.
Everybody
radiology to urology, so no one knows where we are. But anyway, so we're running out. We're actually out of time. I want to thank Bea and thank everybody. What about the CT Val reference for Phantom? Again, we can go through that, but again, the key thing is read the form from the ACR. It's very, very specific. There's nothing really tricky, but they do ask a lot of numbers. So just look at that, and if you have an issue, speak to your physicist. If you don't have a physicist, you have problems. If you have a G scanner, Siemens scanner, a Philips scanner, whatever scanner you have, you could always call up the company. And if you have questions, well, where am I looking? Where I get this information? And they can be helpful. Your apps people can be very helpful. But I think We've managed to do it ourselves, but
Mhm.
again, if you're in a private office and maybe
Yeah.
only you and you're trying to do it, perhaps the vendor would be a good person to call
Yeah.
to help you with some of the information.
Yeah, they should have experience with that.
Right. So with that, I'll thank everybody for their attention, and thank Bea for helping us out here and telling us
You're welcome.
everything we need to know. And hopefully, Jacob will not be here next week.
Yeah,
Anyway, have a great day and see you next time.
thanks.
Bye.